Now, how to harmonise on Zoom, how to sing in time on Skype. Skills I don't have, but thankfully skills choirs across the country have mastered. Video calls and Wi-Fi have been a boon for choral groups, but in schools and colleges, they've managed to keep the music going. DJ McLaren has been to meet some of them.
I knew no joy till I went poor.
For these A-level students, getting back to singing is a delight. Earlier in the year, all choral activities were suspended, singing viewed as too much of a risk for fear of spreading virus particles.
We have our choir performing in the courtyard, standing very far apart, but you could still hear the chorus of sound in the courtyard. We've found ways to make sure that the music doesn't stop.
Like the school, music found a way. Music teacher and conductor Nicholas Chalmers got to conduct a very different first night of the proms.
For me, it really was the highlight of my career. In such an extraordinary year where we hadn't been able to come together to make music for months, to suddenly be on live television with an elite choral group singing a beautiful, beautiful piece with a live audience on television was an experience I will never forget.
For community choirs, it's been difficult. There's usually 130 in this group, but that's shrunk to 46. And it turns out video calls have their own perils.
The first thing we did when we did our first Zoom rehearsal was to try everybody singing while they had their microphones on, so they were not muted, and they all sang together, and it was absolute cacophony.
Does it feel like an isolated experience?
Yes, you are singing on your own. You can hear the conductor. There's a certain amount of sight reading and a certain amount of counting, and you can't rely on the person standing next to you.
So what about the most famous Christmas service in the world? King's College Choir are preparing to broadcast their carols without an audience. It certainly won't look anything like this. The younger choristers are at boarding school together, so bubble theory applies. But with 48 hours to go before recording carols at King's, a case of coronavirus was discovered amongst the adult singers, and they had to be stood down.
We were very fortunate that some very old friends of the college, the King's Singers, which is a group of 6 professional singers, they were able to come and join us, so we refashioned the television service a little bit on the fly.
And if you're hoping to deck the halls or hark the herald angels at midnight mass, I'm told those in the congregation might have to leave it to the socially distanced choir. DJ McLaren, BBC Look East.
Well, let's return now to our